Seems like every day there's a new AI tool that's being released. This weekend I started using MiroFish. So what MiroFish does is it simulates how humans would behave to form an opinion on something. People have been using this to trade financial markets. I decided to use it to answer the question: is will the US use a nuclear weapon on Iran? So first thing it did, it took a lot of documents. So I uploaded the timeline of the war from YouTube, from Wikipedia, a number of news articles, a few opinion pieces, things like that into it. And it created a graph database. So you'll see it's got these nodes here. This one's Israel. And so Israel, we can turn on labels. Israel targeted by missile strike by Zazir, a location in Israel, and then we'll have these labels for everything. So if you've seen a graph database, this one here is attacked. So Israel attacked whatever this place is, another province in Israel, and this province in Israel is part where this island is, and then it's got that island has been attacked, is located in, and operates in. And it has these nodes with the relationships between them. So it's a little bit different to a tabular database that most people would be familiar with. It's created this humongous graph of all of this information, and it feeds this into the LLM, much the same as we've been using RAG, retrieval augmented generation, but with the graph database, so it understands the relationship between all of those entities. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of the entities. It's got some types at the bottom here, and then what it does then is it simulates agents. So I think this spun up 800 agents and let them talk to each other for 40 minutes. So it's come up with some stuff. Project, Graph ID, Simulation ID, 848 agents, and it discussed 4,993 topics. And it did that for 40 times each, this is all configurable. And this is the agent profile. So the Russian Government Information Bureau got given some context about the Russian Government Information Bureau, and it behaved as similar to how they've been behaving. There's another one here from Ukraine. There's the Government Department of Defense, and it's given them all names: Federal Energy Infrastructure Management, and so it goes on and on. I think one of them is the Supreme Leader of Iran, and these will have conversations with each other, simulating what those people would do, similar to like a Monte Carlo simulation, I guess, but simulating human interactions. And so they had a massive conversation, and went on and talked for a while, and then at the end of this, it gave me a report. And you'll see here, this is the narrative that it's going to start the scenario. And so it goes through all of this, and then it goes through rounds. So it wants to do 120 rounds. I think initially I did like a smaller one just to test this out. And this small one, I think, was 40 rounds, but you can come up and create these world simulations here. So I think I need 40, but it will go up to 120. And then at the end of that, it will deliver a full report for you. Let's see if I can find my report. So here's and you can interact with these agents as well. So once the simulation's finished, I can go and chat to the simulated Supreme Leader of Iran and ask that agent questions, and it will spin up that agent so I can talk with it. So it's just an LLM. In this case, it's using Gemini with the context. So here we go. It's planning the report. It's gone through and done all of this stuff, which happens, and then it produces this report on the side here. So it's claiming that the escalation trap that the US is in is unlikely to result in nuclear weapons use, thankfully, but there's still a risk to it. So this is a very interesting tool. You can see how this would be used to simulate how a population behaves. Not sure. I know there are people who are claiming they're making money using this from Polymarket and other things. So they've simulated one of the situations in Polymarket, and then asking questions and then trading on that, and they're claiming they're making money. I haven't tested that yet, and it's something that's kind of interesting. But you can see how this tool would be used to simulate how people would behave given news or some new information, and then could be used to trade financial markets. So it's super interesting. Based on existing LLMs, it's just giving that context and running a very large simulation for them. It is in Chinese. I had Gemini translate into English and then switch the database from a cloud database to a local instance of Neo4j. So if anyone's interested, I've got the code if anyone wants to use it. But fascinating, a few new tools that I've wanted to get my hands on this weekend, but I spent all my time on this one. Any questions, let me know.